Hello, I am Professor Shraditya Rakshit of the O.P. Jindal Global University. This module is based on the charter-based procedure, the special procedures on special rapporteurs, experts and working groups. Special procedures of the Human Rights Councils are independent human rights experts with mandates to report and advise on human rights from a thematic or a country specific perspective, which is also a central element of the United Nations human rights machinery. In its 2011 review of its work and functioning, the Human Rights Council reaffirmed the obligation of states to cooperate with the special procedures and the integrity and independence of special procedures. It also reaffirmed the principles of cooperation, transparency and accountability and the role of the system of special procedures in enhancing the capacity of the Human Rights Council to address human rights situations. Member states confirmed to their strong opposition to the reprisals against persons cooperating with the United Nations and its human rights mechanism and representatives. The Council recognized the importance of ensuring transparent, adequate and equitable funding to support all special procedures. What are the learning objectives? To understand the work of the special procedure or the rapporteur or independent expert and working groups, to gain an insight into the country communications and other activities, to gain an understanding of the code of conduct and working methods of the special procedures. Now, let us look at the history of the system. The Economic and Social Council had passed a resolution stating that the Commission had no power to take any action in regard to any complaints concerning human rights. The ECOSOC Resolution 75 5th of 1947. In 1965, the Commission on Human Rights was faced with a number of individual petitions from South Africa and came under considerable pressure to deal with them. In 1967, the Commission departed from previous practice and established an ad hoc working group of experts to investigate the situation of human rights in Southern Africa, that is CHR Resolution 2 of 23. The Economic and Social Council had passed a resolution stating that the Commission had no power to take any action in regard to any complaints concerning human rights, ECOSOC Resolution 75 5 of 1947. In 1965, the Commission of Human Rights was faced with a number of individual petitions from South Africa and thus came under pressure. In 1967, the Commission departed from previous practice and established an ad hoc working group of experts to investigate the situation of human rights in Southern Africa, that is CHR Resolution 2 of 23. The ad hoc working group can be considered as the first special procedure of the Commission on Human Rights. Following the 1973 coup in Chile against President Allende by General Augusto Pinochet, the Commission established an ad hoc working group in 1975 to inquire in the situation of human rights in Chile. In 1979, the working group was replaced by a special rapporteur and 2 experts to study the fate of enforced disappearances or fate of the disappeared in Chile. The establishment of the first thematic special procedure was in 1980. The working group on enforced disappearances to deal with the questions of enforced disappearances throughout the world, that is the CHR Resolution 20 of 36. In 1990, there were 6 thematic mandates covering enforced disappearances, extrajudicial summary or arbitrary executions, religious intolerance, mercenaries, tortures, and sales of children. Let us come to the topic of special rapporteurs, independent experts, and working groups. Special procedures are either an individual called special rapporteur or independent expert or a working group composed of 5 members, 1 from each of the 5 United Nations regional groupings. They are Africa, Asia Pacific states, Latin America and the Caribbean, Eastern Europe and Western Europe and other states. The special procedures appointed by the Human Rights Council and serve in their personal capacities. Independent status of the mandate holders is crucial for them to be able to fulfill their functions in all impartiality. The mandate holder's tenure in is a given function, whether it is a thematic or country mandate, is limited to a maximum of 6 years. Special procedures undertake country visits, act on individual cases of alleged violations and concerns a broader, conduct thematic studies and convene expert consultations contributing to the development of international human rights standards. They engage in advocacy and raise public awareness. Special procedures report annually to the HR Council, and the majority of the mandates also reports to the General Assembly. Now, let us look into the country visits. Mandate holders carry out country visits, and some countries have issued standing invitations to the special procedures. As of 1st January 2015, 109 member states and 1 non-member observer state have extended a standing invitation to thematic special procedures. At the end of their visits, the special procedures mandate holders engage in dialogues with their states on their findings and recommendations and present a report to the Human Rights Council. Now, look at what are the communications. Most special procedures receive information on specific allegations on human rights violations and send communications, urgent appeals and other letters to states and occasionally to non-state actors asking for clarifications and actions. Mandate holders may send letters to states seeking information about legal, policy or structural developments, submitting observations or following up on recommendations. The annual facts and figures provides an overview of total communications sent and related information. The other activities of the special rapporteurs and procedures is that the Human Rights Council organize working visits in country missions that are not fact finding, but a mix between technical assistance, mediation and the development of best practices. To raise public awareness about specific human rights situations and phenomena attesting threats to and violations of human rights through public statements and interaction with a wide variety of partners. Special Rapporteur on the human rights of internally displaced persons and the Special Rapporteur on the promotion and protection of the right to freedom of opinion and expression. The Code of Conduct and working methods of the special procedures. What are they? The Code of Conduct adopted by the Council in 2007 and the Manual of Operations adopted by special procedures mandate holders during the annual meeting in 2008. The internal advisory procedure is to review practices and working methods which allows any stakeholder to bring issues relating to working methods and conduct to the attention of the coordination committee. There are certain excerpts from the Code of Conduct for special procedure mandate holders of the Human Rights Council. Article 3 talks about the general principles of conduct. An act is an independent capacity and exercise their functions in accordance with their mandate. Through a professional, impartial assessment of facts based on internationally recognized human rights standards and free from any kind of extraneous influence, incitement, pressure, either direct or indirect, on the part of any party, whether stakeholder or not, for any reason whatsoever. The notion of independence being linked to the status of the mandate holder. Focus exclusively on the implementation of their mandate, constantly keeping in mind the fundamental obligations of truthfulness, loyalty and independence pertaining to their mandate. Uphold the highest standards of efficiency, competence and integrity, meaning in particular, though not exclusively, probity, impartiality, equity, honesty and good health. Neither seek nor accept instructions from any government, individual, governmental or non-governmental organization or pressure group whatsoever. Article 6 talks about prerogatives. Without prejudice to prerogatives for which provision is made as a part of their mandate, the mandate holder shall always seek to establish the facts based on objective, reliable information emanating from relevant, credible sources, that they have duly cross-checked to the best extent possible. Take into account in a comprehensive and timely manner in particular information provided by the state concerned on situations relevant to their mandate. Evaluate all information in the light of internationally recognized human rights standards relevant to their mandate and of international conventions to which the state concerned is a party. Article 8, sources information. In their information gathering activities, the mandate holder shall 1. Be guided by the principles of discretion, transparency, impartiality and even-handedness. 2. Preserve the confidentiality of sources of testimonies if the divulgation could cause harm to individuals involved. 3. Rely on objective and dependable facts based on evidentiary standards that are appropriated to the non-judicial character of the reports and conclusions they are called upon to draw. 4. Give representatives of the concerned state the opportunity of commencing on mandate holders, assessment and of responding to the allegations made against the state and annex the state's written summary responses to their reports. Article 10 talks about urgent appeals. Mandate holders may resort to urgent appeal in cases where the alleged violations are time sensitive in terms of involving loss of life, life-threatening situations or either imminent ongoing damage of a very grave nature to victims that cannot be addressed in a timely manner by the procedure under Article 9 of the present Code. Article 12, private opinions and the public nature of the mandate. Mandate holders shall 1. Bear in mind their need to ensure that their personal political opinions are without prejudice to the execution of their mission and base their conclusions. 2. In implementing the mandate, therefore, show restraint, moderation and discretion so as not to undermine the recognition of the independent nature of their mandate or the environment necessary to properly discharge the said mandate. Article 13, recommendations and conclusions. Mandate holders shall, while expressing their considered views, particularly in their public statements concerning allegations of human rights violations, also include fairly what responses were given by the concerned state. 2. While reporting on a concerned state, ensured that the declarations on the human rights situation in the country are at all times compatible with their mandate and the integrity, independence and impartiality. It should also ensure that the concerned government authorities are the first recipients of their conclusions and recommendations concerning the state and are given adequate time to respond, and that likewise the Council is the first recipient of conclusions and recommendations addressed to this body. Now, let us look at how the nomination, selection and appointment of mandate holders take place. Regarding selection and appointment, a consultative group appointed by the Council reviews all applications for special procedures, position and proposes a list of candidates to the President of the Council. Resolution 16/21 has further strengthened enhanced transparency. The national human rights institutions that comply with the Paris Principles. According to Resolution 5.1, the following general criteria will be of paramount importance while nominating, selecting and appointing mandate holders. First, expertise, experience in the field of mandate. 2. Independence. 3. Impartiality. 4. Personal integrity. 5. Objectivity. 6. Individuals in decision making positions in government or entity which may give rise to a conflict of interest with the responsibilities inherent to the mandate are excluded from being appointed as experts. Technical and objective requirements have been further clarified in HRC decision of 6/102. Coordination amongst the special procedures. There is a coordination committee of special procedures and the annual meeting of special procedures in 2005. In 2005, a coordination committee to facilitate coordination amongst mandate holders and act as a bridge between them and OHCHR, the broader UN human rights framework and stakeholders annual meetings of special procedures mandate holders have been organized since 1994. This meeting is intended to better coordinate and harmonize the work of special procedures and for mandate holders to address issues. The President of the Human Rights Council, representatives from OHCHR and UN entities and civil society organizations. Thus, it can be stated that special procedures rapporteurs are human rights experts with mandate to report and admire on human rights. They are not United Nations staff members and do not receive financial remuneration from the work which they do or which they undertake. Resolution 5/1 and 16/21 of the Human Rights Council clarified the parameters related to the selection and appointment of special procedures mandate holders, as well as rapporteurs undertake missions to see to the protection and preservation of human rights and to see to the end of alleged violations across the world. Thank you.